Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Showstopper, the Garage Band King, and his hip-hop princess.
Yeah.
You're listening to El Gran Montalvo, live on the Bruce Montalvo Show.
What's up, y'all? Shabbat Shalom, and those who are celebrating Passover have a good Seder tonight. I guess that's what people are doing. They're just finishing it up right now, Bruce, and finding the Afikomen.
That's right. Happy Passover to all our Jewish and Sephardic listeners.
Yeah, so do you know what a Afikomen is?
No, I do not.
Well, the Afikomen is the middle matzah that's saved, right, for the kids.
Right.
So they hide it. Usually the grown-ups take the middle matzah somewhere during the meal, and they hide it somewhere in the house, and the kids have to find it. And whoever finds it gets a prize, usually money.
Oh, it's kind of like that one bread, that fruit bread, where they put some little boy in it. Anyway, it's like a little toy boy, and they got to find it. I don't know, it's sounding weird, isn't it, folks?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, they got like this one, like, they call it in Spanish, la rosca.
Uh-huh.
And they put like this little toy boy in there, and it's like a disgusting fruitcake.
Okay.
So, whoever finds it just wins that, plastic toy.
Is it for a party? Or just for any time? Just eating?
It's like, biblical type of thing, to like the Three Kings or whatever, when they met Mithra and whatnot.
Oh, they do it for Christmas.
Yeah, that's right. They do it for Mithramis.
Oh.
Anyway, folks, happy Passover, and it was 4/20 the other day, and I'm going to get the date right this time because I took us all the way back to February last week. I guess it's because, they're legalizing marijuana everywhere, and, I'm just, I don't need the government to legalize marijuana. I just smoke it, folks.
Listen, it doesn't matter whether you're high or not, Bruce. Can't tell time.
It is April 22nd, 2016, and again, thank you for joining us, folks. Just thank you for listening.
Yeah, so Passover is, like a holiday that Jews are celebrating right now, and it's a few days. It's a bunch of days.
I didn't know what that was. See, I only know matzah balls and gefilte fish.
Well,
gelato fish.
Gefilte fish.
That's right.
Gefilte fish. And Bruce takes his gefilte fish and he puts hot sauce on it.
I'll put it in a tortilla.
Put it in a tortilla.
They freaking gefilte fish tacos.
Yeah,
it's like
taco.
A Jewish Sefardino from El San Bernardino mix.
Yeah.
It's like a fusion.
So, you know why the Jewish people only eat matzah during the 8 days?
No, why do fools fall in love as well? But tell me why.
I'll tell you why. It's because when they left the house of Pharaoh into the desert.
Oh, wait, I know that.
Right.
I know that. At first, they say it was Ramses. And first of all, Ramses wasn't even
alive.
The pharaoh that was there.
No.
So they're doing some type of mind control with every single of the ancient religions. Yeah. There's some type of fairy tale element to tell the little kids. It's for the kids, right? There's a lot of truths to it as well.
That's right. Yeah. So they couldn't wait for the bread to rise before they left. So
right.
That's why they celebrate with matzah. Now, we're not really eating carbs or anything, so we're not really going to eat on matzah either, probably.
Yeah, we just came back from Miami where the people are incredibly vain. They literally just go out there with their cha-chas and their freaking dinguses hanging out. And that's the thing, you get real, self-conscious. You're like, oh, shit, if I eat this cheeseburger, my ass is going to jiggle for, 3 weeks. So you stop eating cheeseburgers, folks.
Right, I would just say stop eating the wheat altogether. So unless it says organic matzah, I probably won't even try it because I'm not really interested in GMO wheat, and it makes my skin itch, and I'm just not interested. So, but those who are celebrating, you can partake in your Dayenu, and all the freaking questions. No.
Hey.
That's for parties and celebration. This is not really a celebration holiday. I don't understand. One time during Passover, we actually had, my father ended up selling one of his businesses to a bunch of Egyptians that he was friends with. It was a cafe uptown in Manhattan. And we had the guys. You just loved them. It was good friends with them. So we had them over for Passover. It was like real Egyptians and shit. It was mad fucking funny because
that is pretty funny.
Oh my god!
I mean, you're supposed to escape their tyranny, not join them for dinner. It sounds like the freaking Thanksgiving. You get together and then they just killed each other,
And how many people actually have Indians at their dinner table? I mean,
buddy, what kind of Indians?
No, those kinds.
You mean
India?
You mean
Indians,
stinky Native Americans? Oh, there goes Bruce not being PC.
You're an asshole. You're an asshole, and you love it. I love their jewelry, and you just shut your mouth. So, anyway, yeah. So the Jews are celebrating today, and they're, it's all right. Religion is all, good for some people.
Good, let them celebrate. Yeah. Every freaking tunnel that freaking just collapses on any single freaking eyeball eater from Palestine is worthy of a celebration, folks. Not just Passover. You need to just celebrate because Hillary's the one helping them make those freaking goddamn tunnels in the first place.
Yeah. Anyway, Bruce, we thought it was very funny and cool to have Egyptians
back to your story
at our dinner table, and we thought it was just like really entertaining, and they were really fun and cool. My father was so easygoing, so we just like made mad jokes. They did too, so we were like reading that the Jews escaped from Egypt and their tyranny, and they ran around it, and we're laughing and stuff. Meanwhile, the Jews are all, Israel's like right next door, and they're all happy together. Israel and Egypt really don't have problems. They don't love each other, but they do visit each other, actually. Egyptians are in Israel touring, and the Israelis are in Egypt.
Sure, they're checking out whose concentration camp is more efficient, whose concentration camp is more efficient, right?
They're looking at the sites, of the holy sites.
No. The Pope is looking at their holy sites because the Vatican is buying up more land in Israel than the freaking Scientologists are in Los Angeles, folks. Now, happy Passover, of course. You're reminiscing. We have happy memories. Want to wish everybody happy Passover. It's, happy Seder.
It's how many days it is? It's like 8 or something. So people have Seders the first 2 nights.
They're just getting drunk. They're just getting they're hitting the sauce pretty much.
Well, they do some families let their kids drink. Like, that's probably the first taste of wine that they get when they're like.
So they're like Mexican families. Le pasan la tecate with the little lime and the salt on top. Like, órale ese, órale mijo.
A little sip and.
Watcha.
They stick the pinky in the wine. They think like it's symbolic as blood, and you go dam. All the names.
And I'm speaking a lot of Spanish. That's great. That's great. But I'm speaking a lot of Spanish lately on the program because who knows? Bruce just might end up in. The wild, wild west.
New Mexico or something. Maybe Texas. Wouldn't it be cool to live in Texas? Wouldn't it be cool to live in Texas? What would you think? Is it different than Brooklyn, you think? I think Brooklyn and Texas have they have an understanding of each other because I think Texans are cool. Like, I have a lot of friends from Texas.
I think there's too many libtards here. And like I was saying, I could just... as soon as some Black Lives Matter guy calls me a racist, and I think, he's going to gun me down with a pop gun. He's trying to stick me up with a pop gun. I could just be like...
I don't think so. Yeah, well, that really won't happen to you here because...
No, you'll get slashed in the face here. You'll get sticked up with a freaking pop gun. Those old little pop guns from the liquor store, folks, with little red caps. Yeah. They'll stick you up. They'll just paint the orange knob. These Black Lives Matter bastards. They'll just paint the orange knob black with some black magic marker, and they'll stick you up. And you can't even think about owning a freaking pistol out here. So you know what? I just might take my show to freaking the stars at night are big and bright.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
And that's right. I'm going to have the biggest fucking hand cannon. And if you think you can fuck with me, I'm going to fucking...
I think, Bruce, that if you and I move to Texas, the state will certainly succeed. I really believe that. They will...
Because that's all we do. We have a commitment to excellence, a commitment to success. I am the best there is, the best there was, the alpha omega of talk radio. There's nobody better than me. You hear it? I'm no gatekeeper, folks. I am the best in talk radio. So is Jaja. That's why I got her right next to me, riding shotgun, folks. And we want to thank TalkStream Live, who have us up very high right now. Thank you, TalkStream Live, and thanks to all our listeners tuning in right now via TalkStream Live. You guys are the best in the world.
Absolutely. So we're like patriots in a way, you know. So like, Holmes, I mean.
Oh, we're total patriots, and you know what? We're not telling you that it costs money to be a patriot because literally I'd be slanging freaking water filters like some fat guy in Texas that I'm going to go compete.
Or MRE.
Go look for the grave of Arch Stanton. It's going to be like a Mexican standoff. Me and the fat guy and some other guy. It's going to be...
I think Texas would be great because you could really explore your constitutional rights, you know? And, you know, all my, like, favorite... I love those guys from Rule of Law, you know?
They're great.
You know, they talk about the actual laws of Texas.
Shout out to Rule of Law. They're very high up on TalkStream Live as well.
Yeah, you got Eddie, and he's on Monday. He talks about the traffic court. So if we lived in Texas, we could always call Eddie, you know, and like figure out how to deal with the police, the border police, you know, or the traffic cops. You know what I'm saying?
If you're gonna be in Texas, you gotta say it like the vatos over in Texas. The border, eh?
The border, eh? Yeah. So no, but it's true though.
Watcha.
It's a different world, you know. I think New York is just, I mean, the Indian Point is just out of control.
That's exactly why I'd rather be a gunslinger, folks. Because when America is crushed by the libtards, when America ceases to exist because of the libtards, I think that Texas is going to be the old republic. I literally see Texas being the new America, and not this Nazi Fourth Reich America. I mean, there are literally pissed off red blood Americans out there that are never going to surrender their guns to this freaking basketball dribbling bastard Barack Obama. And, you know, there's just real freaking patriots out there.
Well,
It's not just a bunch of steers and queers.
Yeah.
There's real patriots out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that have, you know, like landowners and the property owners. But, you know, we were looking over in Austin, and it's amazing how...
No, that's Agenda 21.
Oh, my God.
I mean, that's why Barack freaking Hussein al-Husseini wants to go over there.
If you see that movie, The Giver, it takes place in this, like, social utopian, omnipotent, classical, quiet, controlled environment where everybody has the same kind of home and structure and the same everything, you know? So it's like sameness. And I find that the same buildings, they look... And you know, the first time I ever saw buildings that were like, besides just like apartment buildings, but like really looks alike, like villages, it was in Brasilia. Because they were working in the government in Brazil. It's like the capital, the government, where the government is located. It's all designed like a bird, you know. It was a high design by Neumann. Anyway, the architecture is such that the bird's wings have buildings and they're all identical. Like all the apartments, you can either get a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom, but everything looks the same no matter what. And then the little cities outside of it, there's like different whole cities.
No, they want to keep you shut in, and that's the thing. We're going out there to win, folks. I'm going out there to have a big-ass 10-gallon hat and strike oil. I'm not going out there to lose or be suckered. You know, I mean, I've been kicking it in New York. I'm like savvier than a New York shyster lawyer. You know, I'm bad. I'm a bad man.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not gonna get hustled by some redneck. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do the hustling. I'm gonna feed them Pace freaking sauce, just like instead of New York sauce.
I just want to know where to go. You have California, which is like the highest income tax and very high property tax in America. You have New York, which is getting hit right now by the Indian Point. And you have also the highest taxes, income taxes, property taxes. I mean, but
they're killing you with the taxes. That's just to remind you folks that the government is into the theft business. They're just a bunch of thieves. All taxation is theft in my mind.
I don't really want to talk about the actual... Look, you know, of course, I mean, everybody's going to scream about taxes. This is, well, you know, it's easy. It's too easy to complain about taxes. I don't want to spend my life screaming about taxes. It's just what it is. I just want to know where would be a better situation for our particular situation. And, we're artists and we want to have space and be creative. And, there's places to move to. Arizona is like middle of nowhere, but it's not bad.
It has smoldering heat. It's hotter than the devil's dick over there.
Yeah, it's too hot. And where do you go? Miami, Florida's cool. But it's like wet, and it's kind of gloomy. Believe it or not, Bruce, it's real gloomy. Wet. A lot of days, rain. Then you have those every other day is like rain, hurricane. You got to stay in an apartment pretty much. Otherwise, you got to deal with house issues. And all that house HOAs and homeowners, association fees. And it's like real. And that's also very similar to the Agenda 21, which is going on all over in Austin. Everybody's home looks the same. And they all get a benefit of like swimming in a beautiful pool. Or maybe a workout room too. So it's like having a gym and a pool right there. But you're also sacrificing, you can't be loud. What if you're a recording artist that's like screaming at the top of your lungs, you could be able to soundproof that place. I already heard people talking about every other building. They're complaining about the people upstairs. You can hear them walking. You can hear them talking. They're made like crap. They're made like with sheetrock, they're not like really good structures. They just look really pretty. But you have to be quiet. Everybody has to live like quiet.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's terrible. It's a total 1984 Orwellian, jam-packed, jam-crammed like a sardine, and it's really not much different living here in the Big Apple as well. It's kind of Agenda 21-y, almost.
Well, I don't know. New York has a lot of flavor to it, and they haven't really... I think it's becoming that. I think there's a whole city right now in Brooklyn, Williamsburg, in a whole section of the city, they've changed it into these modules of structures, or probably like mini lofts, right, for everybody. All these newcomers that want to be hipsters and live in fucking Brooklyn, right? Well, that's why I don't give a fuck. I don't need...
Yeah, all these communist, friggin' Bernie Sanders fucking supporters are moving in here and gentrifying the joint and just raising the freaking prices everywhere because they gotta have their freaking little frou-frou little diners and shit.
Listen, these new generation, this fucking young bunch of stupid-ass fucking reality TV
dumbasses, and we'll get into the reality TV GOP after this.
Well, I'm talking about the people that grew up on reality TV. That's who's coming into the city, and they're not edgy. You know what I'm saying? They're not edgy at all. They're not going to bring...
bunch of dorks.
They're not... Look, New York is fucking dead. There's no, cool underground clubs. There's no, places to see music. There's the whole subcultural aspects are eaten up and shot down. It's not the same anymore.
No, and I saw something the other day. I saw this one just little wussy try to threaten a reporter and get in his face. Just this skinny little piece of crap because they were exposing the corruption at these Democratic poll places. And this journalist went in there, and this little freaking weenie that if he would have stepped to me, I would have given him a left hook and a straight right and then another left hook for all his troubles. And that's the thing. He wouldn't step to me, folks, because I would knock him freaking out. Cold, folks. Out cold. You know this. I'm not just bragging here, folks. I've literally trained with heavyweight champions of the world. Back in Southern California, I was training with, he's not really impressive. The guy's like a walking freaking nipple. His last name's even Nipple. And he moves all sluggish and whatever. But I've trained with real fighters, and I know a freaking dork when I see one. And if I have some communist Bernie Sanders dork come up to me and try to put his hands on me, that's the last time he's ever going to put hands on anybody again without having to eat Gerber, folks.
And, Bruce and I have that in common because I also trained at Gleason's in Brooklyn.
That's way more. That's way more illustrious than what I did.
Yeah,
I trained with tomato can bums. You trained in there with legends.
Yeah, it's true. I was training a lot. I was there 4 or 5, sometimes 5 days a week. I used to just use that as my shower. I think where I was living, so I'd work out and shower. It was great.
That reminds me. I can't wait to see Cinnamon destroy that eyeball eating Amir Khan. I can't wait to see that fight. He's gonna get destroyed. That guy just proves that you freaking towel heads can't fight. You can't fight. You freaking sand monkeys cannot fight.
Okay, coming from a Mexican, I think you guys have the same color skin, though, right? Average Mexican has the same color skin as a Middle Eastern guy, an Arabic guy. I think they all have dark skin, the same color skin.
Yeah, the Indians in the jungle that are 4'3".
They all look the same.
Yeah, they all look the same. That's why they're sneaking in. That's why they're sneaking in ISIS with them. You don't even see it.
You don't even know who's who. What's
the CIA is recruiting little Indian guys to be, hey, I want you in ISIS so that you can wage this phony baloney false flag freaking proxy war.
You look Syrian. Come here, work.
Yeah.
I pay you $2
we'll put a little mustache on you. You know what's funny? We've been watching this series on Netflix, this Fox News, actually just a Fox show on the channel called Border Town, and I think Donald Trump got all his talking points from that Borderland.
What's it called?
What's it called? Border Town?
Yeah, Border Town. Yeah, it was amazing. We were watching this, laughing our ass off, and they said it kept talking about the wall being built, the wall being built, and I'm telling you, it must be you've got to be right, Trump must
either Trump got his talking points from Border Town or from Pink Floyd's The Wall. And speaking of the reality TV GOP, Trump won New York, and it's literally become like picking what dumpsters to piss in. You got two flaming dumpsters to piss on. That's what the voting process has become. Which dumpster that's on fire do I piss on? Do I piss on the GOP or the freaking demagogue Dems? I think the D for Democrat stands for dump. Because that's what Donald Trump is. He's actually a freaking just dump. He's a big pile of dung because he's contradicting himself. And now he's saying that the trannies can go into whatever transgender bathroom they want. And I did a special news report on this Target story where they're actually labeling just these common sense customers that they're bigots because they don't want to see a guy named Johnny one time that calls himself freaking Sally or Bridget because he puts on a wig and then goes into the bathroom and takes a whiz next to your daughter. And it's all good. Target's condoning this, and if you are against it, you're a bigot, according to the libtards over at Salon. How much are we going to take? The New World Order is increasing this hypersexuality of society. They're throwing in trannies left and right. Oh, yeah, you got to worship this tranny. Oh, let's worry about Caitlyn Jenner having an orgasm. Oh, let's worry about transgender bathrooms everywhere. This is a disgusting, depraved, perverted agenda, and it has to be just crushed by all the good people of America, all the law-abiding citizens with good morals. They know that this can't go on. The equality, this whole equality of transgender people, you're going to have the females that want to cut their thumbs off and be a man and have a penis. They're going to want to go into the men's bathroom.
This is the problem
and then the guys with the wigs are going to want to go in and take a piss next to your daughter. Let's say if you had a daughter. How would you feel if you had your daughter in the bathroom and then this hairy-legged freaking tranny with fake boobs walks in with a Democrat shirt on, of course, a Vote for Hillary shirt. He walks in there with hairy-ass legs and takes a piss right next to your daughter. You'd like that? What's America become?
Right.
We're in the dumpster now.
This is a problem, Bruce. Not all guys that want to dress up are gay. See, that's the problem right there. There's a lot of cross-dressers that are fucking straight, and they're just
they could
weirdos.
be anything. I don't care what they are. They could be pedophiles. They could be anything. This is a talk show. Talk back and forth. That's what I'm saying. They could either be pedophiles, they'd be criminals, and they're just encouraging criminality.
Yes. Well, yes, Ray. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I did a special report. You can find it at our YouTube channel on Exposed News. You can really expand on it. I was asking you a question. How would you feel if you had your daughter, just hypothetically speaking, and this guy just walks in there? It's disgusting, right? Aren't you completely shocked? I know you said that most of them are not gay, but, it's just a disturbed agenda.
What I'm trying to say, okay, is that guys are the people that are that are dressing as girls are not all gay. You could be a straight man and just put on a wig and a dress, and there are cross dressers that have no, and they are attracted to women. So how is a Target official or any official or anybody going to differentiate between a person who is just a freaking cross dresser to a real tranny? Trannies are funny too. I mean, but they attract a lot of garbage. But I'm talking about just a person who just, changes, like an artist, for example. I know a few artists that decided they were women, they decided to be men, right? I know men that decided to be women. They look kind of convincing in a way. So I don't even see that there should be an issue with that, if they really are, feel that way. But you know what? That's their fucking problems. You know what I'm saying? They can figure it out. Why does society have to figure it out for them? If they can't fucking figure out what sexuality they are, why does the law have to figure out what sexuality they are? First of all, they're born with a certain genital. So that's what your toilet is used for.
No, God created you, being that it's Passover, okay? G/D created you as a man, you take a piss in the man's bathroom.
Right.
Okay, G/D created you as a woman, you take a piss in the woman's bathroom.
Okay, but
this is depravity. This is the New World Order, the Illuminati, gay mafia, lavender agenda, trying to just demasculate America and all of the youth of America as well. They're just putting this gay right in their face.
All the time. It's really weird. It sucks.
Trannies, gay, trannies, lesbians, everything.
Yeah.
They're being bombarded with this.
Yeah, it's weird, you know what I'm saying? Like, years ago, Pee-wee didn't even admit he's gay. Now it's like Pee-wee's gay house, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, he's riding around on motorcycles like he's freaking Rob Halford from Judas Priest with his freaking boyfriend with him. It's crazy.
Now he's out and happy and gay about it, and he's proud. And I'm not saying don't be proud because you're gay. I think...
I understand now. When I used to watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure, my old man would walk by and he'd be like, "Oye, cabrón, why are you watching that puto?" So, I totally understand. Maybe my old man was looking out for me. He was like, did I have a freaking daughter, or do I have a son? Why are you watching this happy-go-lucky puto ride a red bicycle with a little tiger on it?
Right, and then he got caught in a straight sex movie supposedly. So that was probably the Scientologist covering up the fact that he was probably caught in a gay theater. But you see, that's where the truth and reality and their Hollywood construct. That's where they blur the lines and they don't want you to really know. And that's okay because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. But it's just funny that even if he is straight and he's just playing gay, and that's possible too, that he's playing so hard to be gay, might even make me think that he really is so straight. And that's his just gimmick. Because, I don't know, they want this... They want to get into your sexuality, and that's fucking annoying.
Well, that's what the One World Order wants. Look, in the end, they want to be able to give you an FMG. They want to freaking cut everybody's dingus off. And they want us to be androgynous freaking drones, just like with the Greys, the alien Greys. How they have no freaking balls or no pussy. They just walk around, they have nothing there. They just have these big-ass freaking eyes. You know what I mean? And they're just gray. They're nothing. You know what I mean? They all look alike. They're all the same. And that's what the One World Order, the Jesuits at the Vatican want to do eventually. They want to make it like 1984 where they got a camera watching you and you better not think of procreating at all because it's illegal now.
Yeah. I think that's what they're setting people up to do.
This is depopulation agenda, this Illuminati depopulation agenda. And you don't need that idiot Prince to tell you about it. I mean, let's get into that now.
Yeah.
Right? That is a freaking death hoax. It's a death hoax. Okay, these freaking people, they have money problems, and if they're crackheads or whatever, then they'll and they owe money to mafiosos. Then I could see them maybe getting the Star Whacker sent to their door and then getting blood sacrificed. But in reality, most of these guys, They fake their deaths. The David Bowies, the Michael Jacksons.
Yeah, and like
the Princes.
It's funny, you said 420, you know, he died a day after 420. First of all, I wanted to just backtrack about that because it just came to me. About 420 is not Hitler's birthday. And they even said that that's like a fake day. In High Times, the guy who used to run that, he wrote a book and he was talking about the real research of 420 was when people were going to school. They would go after school, they would smoke pot, and school would end at 4, and then they would all meet at 4:20 behind the school grounds. That's what they would say, 4:20. But I wanted to bring up the whole transgender issue and the fact that, Prince was always androgynous, and if you look at a lot of the famous stars, they were very androgynous, the Michael Jacksons, David Bowie. I mean, you have to really see that. They're complete. This is not a new thing. This is a slow indoctrination of the New World Order through music, because that's the fastest way to get to people. That's why it's called universal, because it's
they touch the subconscious, and I just uncovered something right away. There is some sort of Illuminati ritual going on, because WWE Attitude Era legend China died like on the same day, supposedly died as Prince. So here's the thing: she was this big, buff, masculine man, freaking behemoth of a woman.
Oh right,
and
he was a girl.
And then you have this girly ass man.
Right.
And now they're promoting these transgender bathrooms. So it's predictive programming. It's the Illuminati trying to mess with us. They're trying to mess with the female, trying to turn her into a butch, and they're trying to turn you into a freaking just fist-pumping fanoik. Right? It's got to end, folks, okay? I mean, when you mature, when you become an adult, your mind is set. When you're part of the youth, when you're a youngster, your mind literally is like wet concrete. It hasn't molded yet. So the social engineers, these draconian bastards, they know this, so they attack subliminally the youth. I mean, we need to protect our youth.
Didn't they say that
we need to protect our youth. If I see a goddamn transgender tranny in a bathroom when I have my son in there trying to take a dump, I would knock that guy's freaking face in. I would knock that guy's freaking mouth right off, man. Just bow. Just a good right hook. But anyway, go ahead.
Didn't they say the Teletubbies were gay? I mean, they start very young when it comes to indoctrinating the kids. I mean, the fact is that the Lavender Club co-opted the rainbow, and
absolutely,
yeah, and that used to be it's obscene. I mean, why shouldn't any kid just enjoy a fucking rainbow for what it is, a pretty rainbow, and then stars and unicorns and whatever else these kids like to draw, but now they're gonna see a rainbow and then they're gonna see a freaking flame, and that's. Like I said, I think I have tons of gay friends. I love gay people. It's nothing to do with gay people themselves. Okay, this is what it has to do with. The fact is that people, you said the social engineers, the problem is this. We were watching something about Texas the other day, and everybody that came on, everybody that spoke about their job or position, they were gay. Okay, now why did they make a video of every business owner that was gay? Are you saying that there's no straight business owners? In fact, it's the opposite. There's a gay club, and it's called like the Lavender Club, and they're gay men. 2 gay men make a lot of money. Okay, they have no kids usually some and they are just so powerful, and they have this little elite society, and they like to prop each other up, and in that is the media. So you'll find that a lot of these people that are in the media, they want to just push their agenda. And one of the things we figured out, Bruce and I, is that you can tell that they are gay themselves and they're going to be pushing a gay agenda is when they make the okay sign. It means an asshole, okay? And it means they are gay and they're going to push...
And they're discriminating against heterosexuals.
Right.
They are going against heterosexuals. Now, heterosexuals are going to become like the N-word. You're not going to be able to be a heterosexual. That's racist to be a heterosexual.
Yeah.
I can't stand these bastards. And you're totally right about them co-opting the rainbow, because if you go to our YouTube channel, Exposed News, where we do these breaking reports, folks, you'll see that the cover for that news bulletin, that news flash report that I did, Common Sense targets shoppers labeled bigots for taking stand against transgender bathrooms. You'll see that the Target logo itself, what is it? It's a rainbow.
Right.
You see, they co-opted the rainbow, and it's also a giant Illuminati eyeball.
That too.
You see
it's
it.
watching
It is
you.
an Illuminati eyeball.
And they're watching you.
You don't get any more New World Order than Target, folks.
You know, being gay, and I wish that gay people would stand up for this situation, because it's such a disgrace to a gay person, because being gay doesn't mean that you're a fucking freak, okay? Now, just because, I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of gay people that go, and I know for a fact there are, that don't want to have anything to do with trannies, or anything to do with people who got switch up their genitals, because it messes their heads up, and usually a lot of them have personal problems. So they like to just be in their little normal gay world and not be hanging out with a bunch of freaks. Just because they're gay doesn't mean they're hanging out with trannies.
You know, and it was pretty refreshing when I was in there and I interviewed this person right there on the men's alley where we're getting the shaving cream on the aisle.
Yeah.
On the men's aisle.
Right.
I was getting some razors, and I said, "Who am I going to interview in here? Who am I going to interview in here without getting freaking kicked out of this joint or arrested by some NYPD, right? Or having to knock out a security guard?"
This guy was already helping you.
And there was a guy standing right next to me on the aisle, and he said, "You said something about what razors and which one's the best," and he said something about 4 blades, and he explained the conspiracy, the 3-blade conspiracy, how you should really get 4. So I said, okay, cool. And it's refreshing to see that there are black conservatives in Brooklyn as well. These conservative, good moral, black people as well. They're not like these libtards with Black Lives Matter. A lot of them are on the level, and they see the immorality, and they're just good, patriotic Americans.
Okay, Black Lives Matter are probably these student groups that come out of, like, you know, NYU, or they're part of some crisis actor. The average New Yorker is bombarded with every freak and every person and every type of person in like a million seconds in front of your face.
Well, but this guy interview was like a true conservative.
Well, I think most people are pretty acceptance of difference in New York, Bruce. Is that what then that's what he was saying. He's like, yeah, I had no problem with gay people. You didn't even see a reaction. It wasn't like some down south, like, stupid reaction about gay people. It was like, well, you know, gay people, you know, there's free speech, and then there's like weird, and they're trying to make things weird and uncomfortable for the average person, and people feel that, and that it was very good, it was very pointed that you were able to pick up a real issues, like his true sentiment, and I think it was a sentiment that's felt from a lot of people in New York, because we have to deal with so many different people. I don't think you can't just walk in. It's not like California where you guys are like separated. You have your Latino section, you have your Chinese section, you have your black section, you have your rich white people section.
No. The rich white people section is the rich Nazi Lebensborn section that's been there since the 1930s in Rustic Canyon, folks.
Laurel Canyon and Rustic Canyon, yeah. But, you know, everything is so divided up, and people can see a skin color or an eye and think that they have a feeling attached to that, like
and
a hatred.
Target's eye was right on us. I saw, you know, the little camera was like moving around when I was interviewing people. It was like following me around.
Really?
Oh yeah,
that's so cute.
Yeah, Big Brother at Target.
Target was targeting the targeted individual.
That flaming Fanoik over at Target, whoever is freaking running the eyeballs at Target, was following El Gran Montalvo as I exposed these transgender bathrooms for what they are. It's just a freaking cesspit of criminality.
And Bruce, when you walked past the woman's room, you didn't walk in it. A woman looked at you. She was very, very, like, weirded out.
She looked upset that I had the phone pointed over at the bathrooms. And just imagine if I were to call myself Bridget and I go to the back of the store where they got the freaking wigs, the
You
blonde
get your
wigs.
ass
I put one on, and I go in there to take a piss right next to her kids. She'd be like, "Man, I'm gonna whoop your ass, sucker."
You take her bag and be like, "Out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here!"
No, I've seen how crazy.
Police!
I've seen how crazy these Brooklyn women can get. I mean, I live with you, for Christ's sakes. I mean, I know you guys could really kick some ass, take some names. Well, but no, the whole thing is just a disgusting freaking cesspit, and I hate it. And the reality GOP has proven that it's just a big steaming pile of dump. Okay, it's starting with Trump. Okay, so I mean, it's just beyond me how this guy or anybody could take this guy, Donald Trump, serious. He's flip-flopping left and right. Now he sounds exactly like Hillary Clinton, backing these transgender perverts and their bathrooms.
Yeah.
He said it. Oh, what did he say? I think he's having some type of secret lover affair with freaking Caitlyn Jenner. Everybody, Ted Cruz, the booger eater, is having a love affair with freaking Caitlyn Jenner. And now Trump is saying that Caitlyn Jenner can use any bathroom it wants when it's in the Trump Towers.
Well, actually, I think that Bruce makes a very cute tranny, and I don't have a problem with him.
There's nothing tranny about me. I was hypothetically saying...
I'm talking about Bruce Jenner.
Oh.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about...
Oh, because I just mentioned in the prior segment that what if I were to do some segment if I put on some blonde wig and say, "Hey, my name's Bridget now. I'm going to take a piss here in your bathroom." I would never do that because then the Illuminati would accept me into their cult because I did the Illuminati dress ritual.
See, I mean, Caitlyn, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how she goes to the bathroom. So I think that's what people started to ask. Well,
you know what pisses me off about this thing? They talk to it like it's some type of political strategist when really it's just some disgusting it.
I thought Bruce was a famous sports star. Why is he now...
He was on the Wheaties box once. Yeah, who cares? What, in like 1979 or some shit.
Yeah, but I thought this guy was like respectable, and now it's like... I don't understand why everybody has to be a freak, you know? And I don't care that he's a tranny. I just don't understand why now he has to come out famous as that. Why couldn't he have still been respected all these years for who he is and what he's done and not have to wait until he becomes something that's like, shocking for the public. You know what I'm saying? This has nothing to do with the fact that he made his personal decisions. It has to do with the public that I have a problem with, that's so engaged and interested in him now because he made that change. And that bothers me.
No, it's not the public.
What happened to the last 30 fucking years?
The public is being indoctrinated with this subliminal tranny worship.
That's what it is. He's being used himself as, by
the
Illuminati
yeah.
to worship the image of a goddess, of a androgynous.
And that's what he is all about, folks. It was this transformation, goddess transformation, ritual with that thing. I mean, they even let that thing murder somebody with a car.
Okay, but if you look at the Statue of Liberty, she's very masculine. She's got breasts, but she's like a man. So there is always that, Columbia, the goddess.
I could have sworn I saw her wearing a burqa the other day when I walked down freaking the street, but whatever.
I'm talking about the Statue of Liberty.
I know.
Yes. But now onto something. That I'm reading right now about Fukushima, and they're saying that the tritium in Fukushima, that Japan is about to release it into the ocean.
No, they already are. And it's a very good point that you bring up because recently there was these catastrophic quakes in Ecuador and in Japan. And there was another one in Japan, and this radioactive material known as corium was spewing out of the ground. So it's like these Japanese just bastards over at TEPCO are just disposing of the waste. Yeah, TEPCO. They're disposing of the waste underneath the earth. I mean, and it's coming up through the ground now. It's crazy. And all this while North Korea is secretly launching ICBMs over the freaking in the ocean.
Bruce, I don't know what they're doing. I heard that Rick Perry signed a nuclear deal to bury nuclear waste, dispose it all over inland in Texas.
Well, that's their MO. And see, I'm trying to link up the fact that it could be possible that all these North Korean ICBM tests that they're doing are triggering the fault lines, this ring of fire. All these faults are being activated, and who knows, folks, we could be in for the big one. I mean, in California, you have the capacity with the slip faults there to have a 9.9. It would just be right out of the apocalypse. Everything that Laurel Canyon has showed you over and over again in the movies, how they keep destroying LA, well, it would be 10 times worse than that if this were to happen. And the North Koreans, they're right around the corner. So they could be triggering, the San Andreas fault as well. There could be a catastrophic event. I mean, anywhere. All the faults could be triggered.
Yeah, you never know.
This Kim Jong-un, with his orders from the CIA, is releasing these freaking ICBMs all over the ocean. This is bad news.
Yeah, no, it's complete destruction of the earth, and I don't know, what to do. I mean, there's nothing. How can somebody stop another country from polluting the earth? When this country is just polluting everything, and China's polluting their earth.
There's times like this where I think that we really need a literal Captain Planet and the Planeteers, because this goddamn planet is in trouble. The oligarchs, these oligarchical psychopaths, are wiping their asses with the earth, and it's also Earth Day. So, I mean, if you're going to stand up for the earth, you stand up for it today. I mean, they're dumping crap all over the freaking Gulf. Now they're releasing, nuclear waste here at Indian Point. Fukushima's doing it there. I mean, the Chinese are known to be some of the most infamous polluters. And they get all the tax breaks, too. So, I mean, it's just insanity. Absolute insanity. This is just a toxic world we're living in now.
Yeah, and the Japanese fished out their tuna years ago, and they started buying our tuna for top dollar, and they bought us out of our own tuna.
Well, you see, all these fish are showing up dead on all the coasts, on all the shores. I mean, they're showing up freaking dead over on the Pacific, by Japan. They're showing up just in numbers, these dead fish around the planet.
Yeah, well, they're always they think that this place is just a
dumping ground.
Yeah, a wasteland. And it's like T.S. Eliot's Wasteland. I guess he predicted that. It's like America. I can't imagine. In the 30s, that you heard that there was like 50 people in Las Vegas, and now you see the level of what man can do to a town, and just tear it up. And I mean, they could also make it beautiful. So, but I don't know. I guess the
earth is going to look worse than fucking Tijuana by the time these oligarchs are done shitting all over it, folks. And I'm not with that George Soros party about planting a tree and then going to kill yourself after, okay? But, I mean, something has to be done to curtail the amount of toxicity that the New World Order pumps into the earth left and right every freaking day. Yeah.
No, it's ridiculous. I mean, and then it's not just our country. Like in Brazil, I read in a place called Ouro Preto. It's near Ouro Preto. It's a town called Mariana. There was a chemical spill, and it literally took out a whole town. The chemical company was on top of the mountain. They had their freaking leak. That opened up, and the whole town was covered in chemicals. And there was nothing these people can do. And it's systematic because there's greed. And somebody comes along with a cheap labor idea, a way to profiteer and not care off another man's life. And that's what's happening. And just so they can have a nicer home. And you know what? I'm not like that. I don't even care about having pride, home, big home. I'm simple, I'm talking about. But these people that's what happens when you start, that's what gets everybody in trouble, Bruce. They take out credit and they try to live beyond their means. they get a house that's too big for them or too expensive, and when they double refinance their home, and then you have to call rule of law. So then you have to listen to them because then you're in trouble.
Well, but here's the thing: you said you have these people that live beyond their means, and it reminds me of what Ted Cruz said about New York, that we're all just a bunch of libtards. Where that's not the truth. That's not the truth at all. Actually, living in New York, you actually become quite conservative here. Okay, because everything you do, you have to conserve. You have to conserve how much of the freaking cheese you eat before you have to walk out and go get some more cheese, because it's not as convenient as you think. You got to be walking here, you got to be walking there. You got to conserve what you got. You're living in a very minimal space, so you got to conserve all your amenities. Make sure they last you. So that's just, and you can do that with your money as well. It could translate to your money. And New York teaches you to be a very humble person in a way.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that it used to be a lot flashier, and people would walk by with their fancy outfits like they do in Paris all the time, but it's just not as...
Well, it still is. If you go down Saks Fifth Avenue, right?
You were there, and you got bumped into by a Chinese guy that
was off
the boat, okay? So it's not the same anymore, all right? It's not. There's a lot of tourists there with cameras. It's just not the same. You don't see the level of glamour. Why would anybody go out in the street in high heels in this freaking city is just beyond me.
I think that guy had Down syndrome.
Yeah, okay, but at the end of the day, the city is very claustrophobic, congested, more than it ever was, and nobody's really...
It's getting bad.
Nobody's trying to be showy, It's not like it used to be, everybody is congested. You can't even see too far in front of you anymore.
So we're going to be congested with radioactivity from this Indian Point nuclear power plant spill. That's why I'm considering, along with my beautiful co-host, to pack up and go just out west somewhere. Maybe somewhere where I could just whistle like this.
Yeah, Bruce. I mean, Florida is really cool. We were there, I got family there, but it's just it's the same kind of weirdness, You can get the same kind of houses over in, middle of Austin and pay half the price in Austin than you would in Miami. And it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
Why go bankrupt there? We're making jewelry. And
right.
That's the only reason why we need a little bit more space.
We're making jewelry, and tell the folks that love our program, that tune in religiously, tell them where and how they can support the Bruce Montalvo Show.
Well, the easiest way is on Etsy. We're on eBay also. You can look up outrageous jewelry, right? You can go to you can do that actually. Go to Google and type in eBay outrageous jewelry, 2 words, and you'll get one of our sites with outrageous jewels and jewelry. And it's extensive, expansive, lots of stuff there.
Handcrafted jewelry by myself with El Gran Montalvo's signature finish and Jaja's as well. I mean, her concepts, her everything, I just put the back-breaking labor part into it, and I produced them like a freaking machine. You got that old 1930s factory song. Every time I'm working, it's like da 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 da, like that. You know how I get.
Yeah, and you're awesome.
I love making and not taking, folks. That's what America is based off of.
Yeah. The only thing that we have a problem here is the air is just really kind of bleh. It's a lot of things here. And the water. So now it's just like New York is not the same.
Oh, we're going to get the hell out of here. Now let's talk about being real Americans, folks. And if you're a real American, you wouldn't agree to go to war in Libya. You wouldn't agree to bomb these guys in Yemen. You wouldn't agree to go to Iraq because Reagan gave Iraq freaking weapons of mass destruction and ICBMs. But you might agree to bomb the shit out of those stinking goat eyeball eating Saudi Arabian bastards. And you know what really grinds my gears, folks? Is that you have Obama kissing the Saudis' ass. He's over there kissing their ass. I mean, and this goes back. It's not just Obama. I mean, you had that remedial retard George W. Bush going out there and basically giving a BJ to one of the freaking go eyeball eaters out there, kissing them, hugging them, touching them, bending over. I mean, you have Obama bowing to these bastards, and 19 of them were Saudi Arabian. And, of course, it's not just Saudi Arabia. It's the Pentagon working with Saudi Arabia. Okay? But it's the Saudi Arabians that have turned every single American into a slave. They have enslaved America. So if you're trying to turn me into a slave, Saudi Arabia, I say to freaking send Team America over there and just, America, fuck yeah, and fucking bomb the shit out of you sons of bitches. And that's me at my neocon moment. I have never said to go to war with anybody, but if there's somebody that we gotta beat the shit out of, it's you Saudi Arabian, goat eyeball eating sons of bitches. And that's me being a real freaking American, because nobody is telling the truth. The link between 9/11 and these Saudi Arabian bastards. And they're working with the Pentagon. And that's the thing. They say, oh, it's an inside job. It's an inside job. It's an inside job, but Saudi Arabia did it. It's an inside job, but you want to say, oh, the Jews did it. No. It's a Bavarian, Visigothic, freaking Illuminati that's behind it all. And they work at that freaking pentagram known as the Pentagon.
That's right. Yep.
No, I am pissed. Okay, I am pissed that I have to see this freaking dribbler and chief, this basketball dribbler and chief, constantly kiss the ass of these Saudi Arabian goat eyeball eaters.
Okay, but
I mean, they're spending your money left and right. Okay, they have all these Ferraris. All these sheiks go over here and they break our laws and they drive at like 90 freaking miles per hour down our streets. And they say, I am the Prince of Saudi Arabia. I can drive as fast as I want in your stupid America.
What movie was that in? I never saw that.
No. You look it up. The Saudi Arabian princes coming over here and shitting all over our laws, driving their expensive Ferraris that the Americans freaking basically paid for, that we paid for with our blood, our sweat, and our tears, because we send people out to fight these fat cats freaking war for oil, these freaking profit. They're profiting. They're making profit off of oil. It's the Saudi Arabians that are selling us our freaking oil. I mean, we could seriously be independent, and we have plenty of oil here in America. Why do we have to rely on the stinking goat eyeball eating Saudi Arabian pimp bastards? Because that's what they are in the end of the day. They're a bunch of pimp bastards.
Okay, Bruce, you should not blame Obama for his relationship with the Saudis. I mean, this is goes back to Bush as far as I can see it. Even before that, probably.
They're part of the same crew.
Well, Obama is not going to be...
His name might as well be Obama Hussein Bush.
Yeah.
Okay, and I got a bone to pick with Hillary as well, because she's bought off by those Saudi Arabians too. They finance her freaking campaign. They give her money. That demon woman, Hillary Clinton, won New York City, and now Trump won New York City. Finally, they get to leave and go campaign somewhere else. Okay,
but we already know that she's going to be the president. So why is there even a discussion about who's winning or what? It's like,
that comment Trump said about backing the transgender bathrooms, that just proves to you that he's going to tap out like a rigged Vince McMahon wrestling match.
Yeah.
Hillary's going to put him in a figure four, and she's going to be going, woo, woo, while Trump is tapping out, folks.
Right. I mean, this can all just be a joke, because it's like Hillary is so gay with it that, they have to...
Are you kidding me? She's in little leather freaking outfits at LGBT rallies with a little whipping Uma Abedin. You've seen the internet has erupted. I know I mentioned this last week, but the internet has erupted with all sorts of pictures of Hillary and Uma. They're looking at each other. And I mentioned that they should make a video. Actually, I'm going to make a video with all those pictures of them, and in the background put that song, Secret Lover.
That's what it's not so secret, and that's why everybody's celebrating. So, all the Marco Rubio, that party with the phone when he was dancing, I think that they were probably just celebrating Hillary being...
So that's what that quake in Japan was all about? It was a bunch of Marco Rubio foam just pouring out of the freaking... out of the street?
Yeah, it was for Marco Rubio's foam party.
Oh, my God. Anyway... What did that demon woman Hillary say? She said something about there's no place like home, or she's making all these Wicked Witch of the West quotes.
Yeah, well, I mean, that just proves to you who she's related to. is Lena Headrich. It's a grandmother. So, and her mother,
according to your calculations and your keen artistic eye.
According to my calculations, Hillary Clinton's mother is not only Dorothy Rodham Clinton, but Dorothy Rodham Clinton, and then she was Marta. She was born Marta Headrich, according to my calculations. And Hillary looks just like her grandmother, which is Lena. Lena was funny because when she was younger, she looked, there were sections of her face, parts of her face looked exactly like Madonna, though she was much heftier than her at one point. And then other times, like her smile looks totally like Hillary's. But
you saw the facial similarities between that Nazi Heydrich family and Clinton herself. So your hypothesis, your theory, is that Hillary Clinton, the reptilian wench, is in fact Nazi Lebensborn.
Well, listen, they were always the buzz that Hillary's cousin was with Madonna. There was always the buzz there. I mean, you always heard that, right? That they're related, right? Didn't you hear that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's how they related. It's through, and I figured it out. It's like Madonna's father is like also one of the Heydrich sons.
Right, and it's not just because they all wear that Wicked Witch of the West hat.
And I'll tell you about that in a second. So there's a photo of Lena Headrich in 1936, 4 or 5, something like that, right around the time of The Wizard of Oz. And Lena had a hat on, and it was black. I don't know why, must have been going to a funeral that day. But it really was a fucking witch's hat. And it's disgusting. And she looks like Margaret Hamilton. Not really, because she's prettier. And she was holding her hand up, hiling. And she had a very sharp face, very harsh features in this photo. And, she looks, I can see, when I put them next to the Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West, it really looked like Margaret was symbolically playing Lena. When I didn't say they're related, she was symbolically playing and the Wizard of Oz. Now you just have to see it as the Wizard of Oz, which is gold, and those people in Germany who stole from the other Jews and stuff like that, and other people, they took their money. They stole their gold.
Yeah, they plucked the teeth,
they plucked the gold out of their teeth. So they brought their gold to the United States. And the wizard was more like the CIA, FBI, where they were taking their names. When they went to them...
So it's all sublime. It's all sublime. That's why Clinton is making these little Wizard of Oz references, because she's going to be the Wicked Witch of the West.
No, her mother was Dorothy. Dorothy.
According to your calculations, your theory,
there's photos of her. There's photos of young Marta, in America. You can look at them. She's she's got braids, the same 2 fucking braids as Dorothy.
Right.
And she's got the same dress that Judy Garland wore. That weird, but she was heavier. The same dress.
Yeah, right.
That same weird, like, prairie dress. It's weird with the puffy sleeves.
And it gets weirder. Okay. And you could make those analysis because, you have a very keen eye. You're an artist. You got works all over the world. Facial recognition skills are better than the FBI's machines.
And my research. I did research.
And your research, yeah, of course. Anyway, folks, there you got it. I mean, whether it's a theory, it's a great conspiracy theory, that's for sure. But without a doubt in my mind, I know that all the people in top power level positions are Lebensborn. Okay, which means that they are descendants of the Nazi birth program of Operation Lebensborn. They brought them over here through Operation Paperclip, Vatican rat lines, and they basically took over America, and the Nazis never lost World War II, folks. They never did. And continuing on.
And they're smarter than ever. And it's so...
Continuing on, I was going to say that they are smarter than ever, but I was going to say with this idiot schmuck, Bernie Sanders, he's no different, folks, than Doink the Clown. And that's the thing. Hillary is supposedly got him in a cross-faced chicken wing, and the Bernie campaign is basically just going to give all his voters, all the votes, they're going to give them to her in the end. So it's just a circus. It's just a traveling circus, and the GOP degenerate TV show is now moving the reality donkey TV to California. I mean, good riddance. I mean, they were all over New York. They were all over the place. And I'm just glad that, they're not holding up traffic over here because John Kasich's fat ass wanted to eat at Katz's. That guy was just eating his fat ass off over here.
Really?
He's eating everything.
Oh, God. Katz's is good, but,
that guy probably gained. That guy probably gained like 80 pounds over here.
Oh, God.
He probably ate more than James Gandolfini over here.
Got a good fill of the nuclear flooded, the nuclear water food.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, folks, thank you for tuning in. You're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show. I want to remind you that we're on every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, on TalkStream Live, and we're also on Spreaker. That is our main mode of transportation through the internet airwaves, folks. Spreaker.com, the Bruce Montalvo Show at Spreaker.com. And we're broadcasting exclusively on TalkStream Live, the best streaming talk shows on TalkStream Live.
We're very high on TalkStream Live tonight. Very high, next to a whole bunch of other very big names, and it's really good.
But we get tremendous love from TalkStream Live.
Incredible.
And I want to remind everyone that if you want to support the Bruce Montalvo Show, be sure to go to my good friends over at eastbymall.com and use coupon code SAVE Bruce NY, save 10%. So use that coupon code and you could save literally on the best CCTV surveillance equipment on the market, folks. And if you want to make sure that no night stalkers like Richard Ramirez ever get into your house, you go to my good friends over at eastbymall.com and you'll see him coming. You'll see him coming and you could just bing, whip out the freaking shotgun and take care of them, folks. But you could use coupon code BruceNY over at eastbymall.com, and the best in CCTV surveillance systems, and also all sorts of great spy gadgets, little spy cameras. If you want to do investigative reporting, investigative journalists, you want to bust somebody, you want to record something clandestinely, be sure to go to eastbymall.com. Or if you just want some cool gadgets, you want to pretend to be Inspector Gadget, just go to eastbymall.com. Use coupon code BruceNY. And also, you could go to lecharmteausa.com, and if you want the best in organic tea, you go there and use coupon code BruceNY. So we got a lot of love from our sponsors, from TalkStream Live, and from the fans who listen in every Friday religiously. We really want to thank our listenership.
Definitely, Bruce. We have wonderful listeners. You're getting hotter and hotter every week. We're getting more and more listeners. It's just that we need, you should guys.
That reminds me, we're also on iTunes.
Oh my God! Look how thick our green bar
is. Absolutely. We're looking at our TalkStream Live page, folks. Bruce Montalvo. You go to search on TalkStreamLive.com, and you could just access the show immediately through there. But I want to remind our listeners that we're also on iTunes now. So if you go to iTunes and you type in the Bruce Montalvo Show, be sure to subscribe, folks. And if you want to send us any questions, any concerns, with something you want us to cover, we're not just going to cover all your hoaxes. Okay, we got our own hoaxes to debunk and expose. But if you want to send us any information, just go to Twitter at Bruce Montalvo, at Jaja. Send us, say if you just want to say hello or send us some links.
Yeah, some intel. We love that. We'll definitely take a look at it. We have a great person who always sends us information. Great, Linda. She's wonderful.
Shout out.
Big shout out to Linda. She's fabulous. She always sends you like the really weird, cutting edge stuff too.
Right.
And you dig, and you know a lot of stuff. But it's great. You can't have a million eyes everywhere at the same time.
Well, we got great fans. And the thing is, the show's become so much more accessible. It's really easy to listen to the Bruce Montalvo Show. If you have an Android phone, if you had your iPod Touch, you just go to the Spreaker channel directly, Spreaker.com, and access the Bruce Montalvo Show. I mean, you can listen to us on the go anywhere. And especially because of TalkStream Live. I mean, they only pick the best streaming talk shows, and I'm one of the best, folks.
Yeah, they wouldn't have brought you up so high unless you had a vision and stuff.
Now, I wanted to cover this. Firearm sales, speaking of Texas, I was whistling the good, the bad, and the ugly like a million times. Speaking of Texas, firearm sales are going up, and firearm sales are actually creating more jobs than that libtard Obama. I noticed that when the Dems are in office, gun sales go sky high. So, all this jibber jabber about Hillary Clinton demanding stricter gun laws is really just banter because she's a gun runner, a spokesman for the gun runners herself. I really see their plots with these they live glasses on. I don't see the rose-colored freaking world that they paint for all the sheeple. I see that she's a spokeswoman for the gun manufacturers, and she's just pretending to be a libtard, when in actuality, she's a neocon, and that freaking diarrhea stain, that orange cock stain, Donald Trump, is a libtard.
Okay.
It's the opposite.
She wants guns. She wants everybody to have guns, but she will never say it. So she got to say the opposite.
She's saying the opposite, but could you imagine?
Could you imagine
if they took away her guns?
But she wants her friends that own the gun companies to make money. They do that to scare people. Okay, that they do that to freak people out. Oh, they're gonna take away your guns. Take away your guns. Okay, everybody. Buy. That's what they're saying. You see, it's a reverse. It's the Hegelian dialectic.
Absolutely.
They tell you the opposite to get their desired results. And that's what that is. That's what Hegelian dialectic means.
Hashtag Hegelian dialectic. And here's our next story. The Temple of Baal wasn't scrapped, folks. And we're going to cover a couple more stories before we get to the top 10 list from Butt, Montana that I didn't steal from David Letterman. The Temple of Baal. I was waiting around the 19th to go to Times Square and actually report live, as the Temple of Baal was, in my mind, definitely going to open up some type of freaking portal to the abyss, and Cthulhu was going to come out and just kill us all. So I was expecting something epic, right? Well, it didn't happen. Not yet. They renamed the Temple of Baal the Temple of Palmyra because it's politically correct. Because, the Masons, they kind of just hinted, the Temple of Jebulon, the Temple of Baal is coming to New York. Well, it wasn't scrapped, and they put it up in London. But, folks, this whole Temple of Baal, Temple of Palmyra thing is literally a giant Hail Satan. It's a giant arch to hell, a temple to hell, being built to praise Moloch. Okay, and that's the old Babylonian deity, the bull deity, where they would sacrifice their children to this thing. It would literally be on fire, and they'd sacrifice their children to this Moloch. So it's a temple to Satan, a temple to Moloch, being put up in London and being put up in Times Square. And, apparently it's coming to New York by September, folks. But it just puzzles me to see this overtly satanic New World Order agenda being implemented everywhere. You have baby fetuses being sold by Planned Molochhood. America has rebuilt Babylon. And when Hillary becomes president, you will literally have Beelzebub running Washington. You just wait and see. The establishment is getting behind her. I see it.
Did you hear, there's a crazy thing that happened in Ohio. 8 family members found dead in an execution-style
This is breaking news?
killing.
Breaking news.
Pretty much just happened. 3 kids survived slaying of 8 family members. There was a baby that was 4 days old that was shot.
Speaking of baby sacrifices,
right?
And this is on CNN, right?
Yeah,
it's breaking
CNN.
news.
Yep, and there was
Wow.
a 6-month-old, a 3-year-old, and they
Happens
survived.
every day.
And they said that they were just targeted, and it wasn't really like a killing that was maybe not targeted. It was like directed specifically at that family. Maybe somebody got a threat, but it was in a town called Roden in Ohio. Rarely seen in Piketon, a town of about 2,000 residents, 90 miles east of Cincinnati. I don't know. People get themselves, they gamble their house, they gamble. I think that you get into these vices, or they get a drug dealer, or they're a politician and they don't do something that they're supposed to do, that somebody, you're screwing, you're doing some kind of, or you're a judge, or you're doing some kind of filing a legislation, and you're pushing for something, that maybe will take away another person's rights, or they feel that way. I don't know. Everybody's got their fucking beef. I just want to be away from people, right? Can't we just get one of those Skylabs, and
I'll ask that Satanist Peter Thiel to build us one. Anyway, folks, it is time. It is that time. It is time for the top 10 list that I didn't steal from David Letterman from Butt, Montana. Number 10, Andrew Jackson to be replaced with Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill.
That's huge.
Could you believe that?
Jay-Z's getting mad happy.
Jay-Z, in your theory, Jay-Z is related to Tubman, but let me just get that out of the way so that I could express what I want to say about this. In slang, you call a $20 bill a dub, right? So now, what are you gonna call it? You're gonna call it a tub? Mm-hmm. Hey yo, home slice. Hey son, pass me a Tubman.
And then if you want to get a 20 for the baseball game, then you can go. Can I get a tub for a stub?
Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Hey, look. As a matter of fact, it's good that they're getting rid of Andrew Jackson, that racist bastard. He killed a bunch of Mexicans. Andrew Jackson. Nobody ever talks about this. Oh, he's a great patriot. He was killing Mexicans left and right. Incredible racist. Okay, and I'm not with the freaking politically correct, social justice turd burglars, folks. I hate those sons of bitches. But history is history, and even though Jackson was against the Federal Reserve, and there were multiple attempts on his life because he was against centralized banking, it's good because he would literally roll in his grave that if he knew that he was on the $20 bill on fiat currency. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's good. As a libertarian, I really don't have that much of a problem with Harriet Tubman, but I also don't see why you got to go and just alter history and get rid of his. He's already on the $20 bill. Why do you got to do it? This is the type of hope and change Obama basically brought to America. He didn't change anything. You're still hoping for things. The only thing that Obama's going for is the change in your pockets, and he's changing trivial shit like the face on a $20 bill. Really? That's all you're going to do as president? That's going to be your crowning achievement, that you change the fucking face of the $20 bill? You're pathetic. You're pathetic, and you deserve to be in orange for not allowing any backup. Okay, they all want to freaking go after Hillary on this one, but it was Obama. It was his orders that also derailed backup for the soldiers that were literally killed in Benghazi. They were set up. With Chris Stevens. The order came from Barry. So, it's just disgusting to me that they're using now Harriet Tubman as this Black Lives Matter freaking agenda.
Yeah, well, that's
just using a old civil rights legend, basically, before civil rights. Before the 60s civil rights. She's the OG of civil rights. They're just using her in their satanic freaking plot. Anyway,
speaking of Jackson, and we were talking about Michael earlier.
Yeah, and Prince is inspiration.
I was thinking, because I remember seeing Michael Jackson with the Cross of Malta walk with Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. And Michael's, nobody even questioned that. Okay, so they're like Boulay, League of Boulay, right? I was just thinking that maybe Jesse's related to Joe Jackson, and now it looks like they're related. So, these people are elite. That's why
That's right. It's the Illuminati bloodlines. They're all freaking related. They're all related, and you notice that. You can see the facial similarities right off the bat. Anyway, we're at number 9. Number 9. That slut, Lindsay Lohan, is now converting to Islam. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, they're going to put that bitch in a burger. What would happen? She gained weight? She wants to hide her belly fat?
I think that's a good thing, because she's so fucking ugly that, the only way you could look at her is with a burqa on. They should cover that bitch up. They should cover her mother up in a burqa. Those two freaking broads are repulsive. You'll catch all sorts of STDs from that dump. It's grotesque. Just a little freaking teeny bopping slut converting to Islam, right? Why don't you call it what it is? You're converting to being a Jesuit, right? Who's she gonna kill? Because that freaking Quran just says kill, 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 kill. What did Caitlyn Jenner give that freaking Quran to her? Because he's killing a bunch of people itself.
I can't imagine a woman wanting to go to Islam unless she was like dating fell in love with some, foreigner or something like that, and then she wants to try to impress him. But really, you're very subservient in their religion, and if you I don't know, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't really do it. I would just, why can't she just respect the person? But obviously, she's looking for approval, acceptance, or either that they're paying her to pull a publicity stunt. So I don't know. I can't figure people out these days. I just do my best to figure out what the hell's going on, and that's it. And I just let a lot of stuff blow off and live my own life because I can't really worry about them, and I really can't worry about Hillary being president because that's what's going to be, and I'm not. I know it's just going to be the same as Obama, and it's going to be whatever. People, you're going to make money, and America's going to keep going, and then that's it. And you want to bitch and complain about a president? Just go to your legislation, go worry about voting for your chief of police, your local officials, and that's when your own towns and your cities will start, enforcing your civil liberties and your rights as an American. Your president is like the president of a corporation, and that's what they are. They're just spokesperson. They don't even make decisions. They just read them from what they read them from the briefings. So they're just a good actor. That's all it is. So I'm so sick of people bashing presidents. Every talk show host.
Yeah, why don't you talk about, how to lead yourself instead of needing a leader?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, the time gets wasted beating up these hypothetical leaders that are just they're just figureheads anyway, and they're born into these positions, but they're not making the decisions. They're worried about what suit they're going to wear the next day and how many calories they have to eat so they can fit in it, okay? And worrying about meeting their gym or, maybe have a few meetings, It's like, I don't know where people think that these politicians, the ones that are so high, are really making conscientious decisions.
So what? Were we talking about Lindsay Lohan converting to Islam?
We were.
Was that part of the top 10 list? Because I don't know where you took me from that. Okay, I believe we're at number 8 now, folks. And I saw this story. These two supposed male lions mating in Botswana. 2 male lions, freaking one doing the other one in the Sphinx. But here's the thing. It turned out that in Botswana they have pelted female lions. So, again, it's the freaking gay lavender Illuminati agenda. They're pushing gay even to the animals.
Even on the animals.
2 gay lions making love in the Botswana safari.
Okay, but how many hits did they get? They got like millions and millions of hits probably, right? Like 1 trillion hits probably because the Lavender Club pushed it. They want people to question, oh, look, ooh, they say that people get erotically stimulated if they look at animal sex, so maybe they thought that they could stimulate people subconsciously, homosexually, if they show them homosexual animals.
Wow. Well, now we're at top 10 list number 8, I believe. 8. We have here... A new study, only 6% of people trust the news. It's about freaking time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Only 6% of people actually trust the news. And that's out of those criminal bastards with the Anon hats. They're pushing that.
Yeah.
So that's number 8, folks. You have... a new study, again, people are putting the They Live glasses on, and they're realizing that it's just a bunch of mass media mind control.
That's true.
Wow. So it's about time. People need to put those They Live glasses on, folks. And let's see, we're at number 7. You believe a mother left her baby in a garage is sentenced to life in prison for leaving her baby in the garage.
Wow, that's really weird.
You know, I know some alternative media talk show hosts, some big, big fat women that actually treat their kids like that too.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, I'm not a person to make a judgment on another one's life. You know, you don't know. I didn't see the paperwork. Maybe she's got a history of doing weird things. Maybe she was drunk. Maybe she was fooling around with a crackhead in the backyard. I don't know. I don't know enough information. I'm going to nix on that one to comment because, like, my legal mind is just, it needs all the facts before I make a decision.
Right. Well, number 7. Little girl's wish of meeting her local garbage man comes true.
Oh, yeah. We should just...
It's not who are the birds and the bees. It's, where does my trash go? Right? Did she ask that question? Where does the trash go? She got to meet her local trash man.
Yeah, she got to hug him, too?
Oh, yeah, he had a big old smile on his face.
Yeah, filled with trash. Probably his whole outfit smelled like trash and stuff, you know? You let your kid hug a trash man? No thanks. That's disgusting.
Wow. Now, speaking of trash men, number 6. Al Sharpton doesn't like it when white people talk about race. What a hypocrite, fat fuck FBI informant piece of slime.
Well, you know, he's a Marcus Garvey provocateur. He's just like totally. I mean, like again, he like down with Jesse Jackson, down with the Boule. He's just trying to provoke people. It's not what he really believes. He hangs out with white people. He hangs out with black people. His, you know, nephews are rappers. I mean, it's like, oh please, you know what I'm saying? You can't believe what these people say at the end of the day. They're just reading a script. They said, okay, you say this. Okay, all right. You want that $100,000? Okay, yes, I say it. No problem. You see, we don't see what goes on behind the closed doors. We only hear what comes out of their mediated mouth, and it's all scripted. So I can't I'm not a person to judge another human being. I know that's their job. They just read the lines. Do I believe it? No. Do I follow it? No. It activates me? Absolutely not. So everything's questionable, and I think people need to take off those glasses and really...
No, they got to put on the They Live glasses.
And take off the rose-colored glasses
exactly.
And put on the They Live glasses.
Okay, now we're on number 5. Former baseball star and ESPN analyst Curt Schilling was fired by ESPN for taking a stand against the transgender bathrooms. They fired him because he posted a tweet of some fat guy who, his name was probably Jose, and he changed his name to Bridget, and then he went to the back of Target and bought himself a freaking wig and decided that he wanted to go into a woman's bathroom. He posted a picture of this guy, and now ESPN fired him because they're a bunch of PC, Boule, probably Lavender, Illuminati, freaking Skull and Bones pieces of trash.
Yeah, well, it's like a witch hunt, you know. They're trying to find anything to witch you out, you know, and like, I don't know, maybe they didn't like him to begin with, and they were just using that against him, you know. I think people say whatever they want to each other, even as jokes, you know. I make Jewish jokes and I'm Jewish, you know. I'm not like extremely into racist jokes.
I mean, this is total liberal lunacy.
But some people are, and you know, whatever. It's fine. It's cool. It's whatever. It's a joke. It's a joke.
This is total libtard.
Discrimination is discrimination, and jokes are jokes. You know. And I've had friends, like one of my black friends, was really discriminated on, and I had to help him because they were hanging a noose in his fucking locker, and we got like concrete.
Well, that's not cool.
Yeah, I wrote letters, so we got a lawyer and stuff. We got the concrete people, you know, and then they instituted a federal law that anybody that's using a noose to intimidate a black person. I don't use African American because not everybody wants that to be called African American. Some people are Jamaican American, so they can't use. Anytime they try to show a noose, it's used as a federal. It's a federal crime.
It's like a hate crime.
It's a hate crime, but they're charged with a federal crime.
All right, let's get paranormal now. Number 4, top 10 list. Number 4, divine sonogram appears to show Jesus on the cross.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that?
Mm-hmm.
These are the same people that probably see Jesus on a tortilla.
Hey, I make tie-dye t-shirts. Don't we see Hitler in one of our tie-dyes over there?
You see all sorts of scary things in those tie-dye
You know
shirts.
what? You just like, it's like a Rorschach test, right? And they use that in psychological, like psychiatric wards and psychological tests for...
Yeah, like an ink blot.
Ink blot test. They used to see... They asked the people with problems, what they see. Are they seeing demons in there? Are they seeing happy things? I think usually it's just, I don't know. I think that's kind of weird anyway, because as an artist, and as an art teacher, and I went to art schools, we always used to like make stuff and bleed the papers and squish it, and come up with pretty patterns like butterflies. But in the end, you could trip and you can look for things and you could see things. I mean, it's like art and stuff like that, It's expressionism, it's impressionism, and you blur your eyes and you can see things in it. I mean, artists, they teach you how to do that in art school. They even teach you that in film school. Like, it's like you point your camera and you can change your focal point, and then you change your perspective, and you'll see different things, and, other things will be blurred out. But yeah, I don't know. You could see things in things.
It's pretty gnarly. It's pretty crazy. Now we're at number 3. Schoolboy killed by a single punch after telling bouncer, "You'll work for me one day." He was only 18. I sound like George Norrie there talking about death all the time. Like, he was killed. I mean, you know what? George Norrie reminds me of that guy Bernie from that movie, that guy that's in jail because he shot some old lady and he was like a freaking mortician and stuff, and a caretaker, like an undertaker. Oh, he kind of looked like Paul Bear a little bit. Oh,
Bernie has so much character.
That was a great freaking movie.
Yeah. Jack
Anyway,
Black.
what do you think of that? Who?
Wasn't he?
What? Losers being who? Jack Black? What?
No. Who was it? What was his name?
Bernie.
Who was the actor?
Oh, Jack Black.
I'm sorry, Jack Black.
Oh, I heard a loser that's washed up. I heard
that.
the name of a loser.
I'm sorry.
Jack Black. It sounds similar. It's a slip. Anyway, what do you think of that schoolboy getting killed by a single punch? I mean, what did he go up to the freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger's son? Because that's probably the only job that Arnold would get him, like a bouncer somewhere at a titty bar. He doesn't want to be seen with his son. But I mean, this bouncer knocked this guy out to death. He knocked him out freaking cold.
I don't know why the bouncer did that.
I don't know. Well, who is this kid related to? The freaking Rothschilds? And you'll work for me one day. The kid was kind of a prick. You don't go up to a guy that's got a freaking AK-47 if you got a little pea shooter. You don't go poking the bear. Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's number 3, folks. Now, this next story is something you could expand on, actually. It's from the rap world. You have Ice Cube saying that you need to vote Democrat to crush gun manufacturing. I mean, isn't this the guy that used to roll around in a lowrider around Inglewood talking about, today I didn't even have to use my AK. And now he's talking about taking away your AK.
Okay,
this guy's FBI, COINTELPRO, Democratic freaking scum.
What day was that? What day did he say that? What was the date?
I don't know the date.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking you that, okay, before taxes were due, probably. And I'm telling you, maybe this guy owes taxes, and they just told him, you want to get rid of your taxes, your debt. I don't know. I'm just taking a speculatory guess that why would such a hardcore rapper make a full freaking U-turn?
Well, he's not a hardcore rapper anymore.
To be a
that
hardcore
was
rapper.
A very long time ago. Now you see him in movies like Are We There Yet? And he's getting pummeled by like white boy kids that he's babysitting in the snow, and he doesn't cuss, and he wants to take away your AK-47s. Well, who knows how many guys named Pookie and D-Rock he freaking executed, you know what I mean, while going to Great Western Forum games. I don't understand. He's a complete and total hypocrite.
Yeah, well, they want that. They want...
Now, how do you like me now?
But you see, that's how the New World Order gets a guy like Ice Cube. They put him out as a tough guy, and then in the end they'll have him sucking dick, to the public, because they like to take down people's idols. And he was like a tough guy, from the underground, kind of like we saw that. You could see that you can look back and see that this guy was like tough, like the music was hard, and he had like a gangster look, and then he started cleaning up.
It was all constructed by the FBI. All that rap was constructed by the FBI. Most of those rap producers were getting money directly from the Iran-Contra at the time, that drug running. So they were created to, again, basically have the black youth kill each other, because instead of opening a book and reading about Magellan, they're reading about freaking Ice Cube doing a 187 in your ass.
Okay, so maybe a guy like Ice Cube, these people are surrounded by people that talk to them all day, and there's a lot of very vocal black women, right? They'll be like, you can't want guns, when they kill our sons, you're bad. And he maybe, something triggered in his mind, and he feels like, oh yeah, it's true. You don't know.
Maybe he's just a big fat stinking sellout.
That too probably is, because otherwise he wouldn't be out there publicly denouncing one of your freedoms. So
no, this guy's a grade A piece of shit, and that's the thing, folks. All these rap artists, except for you, were manufactured by FBI COINTELPRO.
Yeah, they just become messengers, so they can control the messenger's message.
And they put them into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, NWA, who was literally constructed by FBI COINTELPRO. I mean, they made this band, folks. And you see the logo for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They put them into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It looks like a fretboard to a guitar, but literally, subliminally, it is the Eye of Horus Illuminati triangle. That's what it is. It looks like a guitar fretboard. I was seeing it when they were taking the promo pictures behind the banner of the Hall of Fame when they got inducted, and that's what it is. It's telling you right there, you got to be part of their order in order to even have a shot of being in the Hall of Fame. I mean, they decide who they put into the Hall of Fame. The freaking unwise Lebensborn occultists that run Hollywood and the music industry, the Illuminati music industry, they decide who they turn into. You
have to be a Prince Paul Mason or a Mason or a Lebensborn, or you cannot just be some struggling artist off the street with no connections. I don't.
Even if you're the best in the world at what you do,
they will steal from you.
If you're not connected, then they'll steal from you. They won't make you. They'll steal
from you. They won't make you. Even though you're the best actor, the best singer, the best looking.
Like me, I'm one of the best reporters on the planet, and I'm doing a report down there at the Brooklyn Target, and I said it when I was coming out. I said, I bet you that those losers over at InfoWhores are going to send out that clown of theirs, G.I. Joe Pigs, and he's going to do the same report I just did. And guess what?
We made fun of it
35 minutes later, I get home, and Bill Hicks from InfoWhores sends out his clown to do just that.
And he looked miserable, and he sounded miserable, and he said the same thing as you did. It was almost the same. You can look at the time footage on Bruce's original footage, and it's got to be done before.
Just look at their link.
Biggs.
Just look at the link to. I mean, they uploaded their stuff before we did.
Yeah,
but that's because we were out and about. But we did our report before that report came out.
Way before it, and we were making fun of how Biggs was going to probably wear a wig. Or
Pigs
is going to wear a wig and talk about it, and like it would be funny to see that. And then he did it, and he talked about a wig. He didn't wear a wig.
Anyway, when I whistle the good, the bad, and the ugly, I'm talking to you, Bill freaking Pigs / Hicks, because I'll be out there and we'll have a Mexican standoff because the Bruce Montalvo Show is going to take over Texas. You best believe that. You are old hat, you fat bastard. You're done. I'm coming in there and I'm taking all your fans. I'm taking everything. I'm taking all the freaking cattle. I'll have all the steaks. I'm going to run that bitch. All right, and now that gets us to the top story on the top 10 list that I didn't steal from David Letterman, folks. And I've been talking about it all day. Target proudly welcoming men, perverted degenerates, to use its ladies' rooms. What the hell is happening to this world?
Look, what happens when a woman who's got a beard, and I've seen them, says, I am a man now, I'm not a woman, and she walks in there and gets raped. So, now what happens to this girl who's got a beard but still has a vagina, and some guy just is like, ooh, what is this girl? Oh, wow, nah, that's a man. And it's like, he's like big and like she's little because she's still a woman's body.
That's the thing, yeah, a man could easily overpower any woman, even if it's a it. Because it was a man first, then it became an it. It's still a man. It's still a man. I mean, if you were to freaking cut your freaking dingus off and slap it on your freaking forehead with crazy glue, you're still a freaking man, Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, they still have male body, muscles, and power.
Right.
And especially him.
What's going to happen if they start letting trannies fight, actual women in the UFC? It's going to be literal freaking wife beating almost.
Hey, you just came up with something.
Sponsored wife beating. No, they're going to have to start their own division for trannies.
Yeah, they're going to have a tranny division for football, tranny division for hockey, tranny division soccer. Oh,
now, they won't have that because the New World Order is going to eradicate all contact sports.
I see.
And all sports are basically run by the mafia anyway. They're all rigged. Speaking of sports, folks, I will be attending a game over at the Evil Empire. We got freaking tickets. Right?
Yup.
The Evil Empire.
You're going to eventually get to see the Yankees.
That's right. No, I'm doing a report at Yankee Stadium very soon. And I'm going to expose the Masonic side to baseball. You'll see it. It'll be up on Exposed News. You should have subscribed to the YouTube channel Exposed News on YouTube. Subscribe. Now, going back to real serious stuff. The top 10 list, we laugh, we giggle. We laugh and we giggle like that panda bear that was throwing himself all over the place. Right? And you see that? That was funny. That was funny.
Oh my God, that was hysterical.
That panda actually reminded me of myself when I was a freshman in high school. They used to have these pizza boxes stacked up by the side of the cafeteria. And when everybody was done eating and they were pretty much like closing stuff down, on the food lines, they would have the pizza boxes on the side. And I was watching a lot of Jackass, a lot of Tom Green at the time, and me and my friends were going around seeing what type of pranks we could pull around the school, right? So I'd hurl myself into the pizza boxes like an idiot and throwing them all over the place because it's funny. They even tried to expel me because of it because I was just throwing the pizza boxes everywhere and causing hell for these people because they stacked them up real nice, and I'd go in there like that panda bear. Like that panda bear was just throwing himself everywhere in like gleeful idiocy.
You're crazy, Bruce.
That was funny. But anyway, I like to talk about these topics because, I cover the worst of the worst here on this show, folks, and it could get a little depressing. It could take the fight right out of you. You gotta laugh. Because otherwise you're stuck with depraved degenerates and transgender bathrooms! Anyway, folks, let's get serious here. I was looking at these pictures of the Mahdi and Prince William, and it's like the Mahdi from India literally put a RFID mark of the beast on the scumbag. I mean, he shook his hand so freaking hard that he left an imprint on that British Nazi bastard's hand. And I think it's because the old Anglo world order is probably getting ready to strike India if they don't comply.
Oh, wow.
Maybe that's why he's so angry. And the past of the British colonizing the Indians and basically having them under the Queen's rule. That monarch, that reptilian wench that just turned 90 recently. I mean, it seems to me...
Probably.
I don't know what she turned, 90 something. But, yeah, he was pissed. He left his mark on that freaking doofus, Prince William.
Unbelievable.
What do you make of that whole Indian favor with they could be targeting them with a possible earthquake? You see Ecuador was struck. You see
Leonardo
Japan was struck
DiCaprio
again.
gave some money to Ecuador?
No, I didn't.
$2.4 million he gave to Ecuador.
Wow.
Maybe more. I'm probably off by a few million. I think maybe 3.4 million, something like that. But he gave to help.
He was giving a lot of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Mm.
Wow. of
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know India. I mean, I don't know what's going on over there right now. They have really beautiful gemstones, so.
right. I mean, the British better watch out because then they'll send Shiva to kick their freaking asses. But you know what? Shiva's probably working for the goddamn Brits, the Nazi freaking Brits herself.
Probably.
Right? And it's just crazy, folks. I mean, we literally undress the machine here. Okay, we unveil the New World Order's totalitarian agenda on this show, and I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if I hear that there's a major catastrophe along that ring of fire that I was mentioning earlier, and if that Indian Mahdi is shaking Prince William's hand with such might, he's probably pissed that some type of deal's going on, or maybe they threatened India, because the British probably have a long history of threatening these buddy.
I don't know what's going on, but I did get an email from United that's trying to get me to use my miles to support their earthquakes and flooding, and they're really looking for us to give our miles to the Red Cross and all kinds of places to give. They just want us to give until there's nothing left to give.
Right, until there's nothing more to take. They're just going to take it all until you're a goddamn slave, like that ONI, Office of Naval Intelligence bastard, and other shills say, right?
Yes, exactly.
Wow. Well, anyway, here's another talking point.
I'm not against helping. I actually have my own benefit for the Haiti relief because I know personally Haitian artists that were affected. So I wanted to affect their lives personally, and I personally sold work to collectors, and then I went and gave them money because I knew somebody that could connect me with it.
Well, that Haitian quake, just like all these other quakes, are either being triggered by the magnets that CERN is firing underneath the ground, or HARP. I mean, why do you think Hugo? Why do you think Hugo Chavez isn't alive today?
Intercontinental ballistic missiles.
That as well.
No, that's how Haiti was done. It's already been pretty much on the record. You could freaking see the crack that it would have.
Whatever it was some type of attack, some type of false flag attack, either HARP or whatever it was.
Okay, it wasn't HARP, Bruce. It was obviously it was hit. It was the port was hit. It was an intercontinental ballistic missile, but that doesn't. Okay, so a false flag doesn't mean that people weren't hurt. There were people's lives that were destroyed. But if you give your money to like a corporation like the Red Cross, or anything like that, you can't be sure that the money is going to help the people. And that's the sad thing, is that you want to help people, but you have to make sure that it actually gets into their pocket.
Right, and we're talking to you, Bill Clinton. We're talking to you, George W. Bush, and your scam of a Haiti foundation. All you used that money for was to freaking buy cocaine and probably buy hookers from Epstein.
Oh no, I don't know. I think Bill publicly said that 15% of it went.
They didn't get a dime from that. Mm-hmm. They didn't get a goddamn dime from that. Those freaking oligarchical rats. They kept everything. They kept every penny.
I can't believe they really had a foundation fund, and people just, I guess, you know what it is? Name recognition, Bruce, and they just give because they just love, and they trust, and they think everything's all. And meanwhile, they're getting laughed at by the people. People don't believe that somebody in power has an evil intent or just selfish intent, and it's hard for somebody to imagine that another person's like that, but there are people like that, and I can't say what they did with the money because I'm not their accountant, and I'm not them, so. But if they didn't use any of it, they have to live with that, But I think they did use some of it, but I don't think it's enough. 15% is not enough. But then Bill said, he was going to save it, and then they were going to ration it out over time.
You really think those criminals gave those Haitians anything? First of all, they engineered the attack. The military-industrial complex engineered that attack in Haiti. They engineered the Ecuador attack, more than likely. They engineered the Fukushima hit. I mean, all these people, whether it's Kim Jong-un and his ICBMs, all happens according to what the Pentagon says.
Exactly.
Now, again, I told you it gets very serious, folks, and we're running short on time. We've got about 10 minutes left, so we want to end strong here. But first, I saw the other day, I was walking through the supermarket. I was all lost in the supermarket like that Clash song because all they have is GMO crap everywhere I go trying to kill me. And it's just so hypocritical that Cheetos has an organic Cheeto bag now for fat asses, for total fat asses. So if you want to freaking have organic Cheetos and enhance your life, they have a bag of shitty freaking GMO for you to eat. I mean, that's like putting perfume on a pig.
I think that there needs to be organic products for everybody, for everything. Nobody should. It's just disgusting that things are GMO. So you should be eating foods that say non-GMO or organic on it. Otherwise, you don't know what you're getting. All canola oil isn't even real oil. It's GMO, genetically modified oil. There's no canola plant.
That's one of the key words. When you see that it says, modified corn, it's like, you're trying to pass off as organic. If it doesn't say organic on the label, I don't want it.
Exactly. Yeah. And whatever chips, people are people. If you want to have a fucking chip, man, at least, I make sure it says organic.
But have you ever seen the guy on the cover of the Cheetos bag? I mean, that little cheetah. It's like he's snorting lines of Cheeto cocaine. I mean, he's like a freaking drug addict. Yo. I mean, Cheetos. You look at what Cheetos did to that guy. You want to feed Cheetos to your freaking kids? I mean, or you could do it organic now. Organic Cheetos.
Kids eat Cheetos at parties, so please, Bruce. Anyway, did you hear that Ted Cruz unhinged? He suffered a meltdown after only 22 people showed up at the Philly event.
He probably suffered a meltdown because he realized that the public discovered that he was actually a tranny woman, and he appeared on the Maury Povich show. Actually, that's a story that should have been number one on the top 10 list. If you look up Ted Cruz, Maury guest lookalike, you'll see that on this show, he basically had a husband that he was trying to get for freaking child support payments and try to have the "you are the father" moment, right? Well, Ted Cruz, this woman that looked like Ted Cruz, I mean, that proves that the Lebensborn booger eater program is alive and well. And Ted Cruz bothers me because at first I was saying that he was jokingly. I was saying, I don't know if he's Canadian or some Operation 40 freaking Cuban. And it turns out that he, in fact, is part of that Operation Cuban CIA cabal that took down Kennedy. Okay? Operation Mongoose, Operation 40. They don't know if it was Rafael Cruz right next to Oswald that was part of the tramps that were behind the grassy knoll by the railway. I mean, they have photographs of what appears, it's not confirmed, and whoever put that story out is a bona fide NSA agent, so you can't trust it 100%. But it appears that there could be some truth that, in fact, Ted Cruz is a freaking Operation 40 freaking Cuban Canadian that had something to do that's implicated with the JFK killing.
That's crazy. He's too old for that, though, isn't he? I mean, too young for that.
No, it's his father.
Oh,
his father. By blood, by family, he is connected to the JFK assassination.
I see.
I mean, this guy just keeps getting worse. Not only is he one of the ugliest booger-eating bastards to have to see on TV, but this guy is just, his wife is backing his entire campaign by being backed by Goldman Sachs. And then he's trying to tell you he's anti-establishment. All these guys are supposedly anti-establishment. Let me tell you something, folks. The Republican Party's record on liberties is pathetic. It's pathetic, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, none of these guys are anti-establishment. It is just all a freaking song and dance, a dog and pony show that's just going to lead us to our destruction. It's all part of the bipartisan big government establishment. And I cover it because it's funny to mention these freaking cartoon characters. But in the end of the day, I'm thinking what I can do to enhance myself and my family and those around me. And I'm not looking for a leader. I am a leader. I lead myself. And folks, you don't need a leader. You can lead your own self.
Right.
You can lead yourself to salvation. You don't need some freaking zealot booger eater like Ted Cruz to do it.
Hey, did you hear that NASA did an homage?
You mean Nazi?
Yeah, NASA did an homage to Prince by showing a purple nebula today.
Oh, they're putting purple on everything. It's just an excuse for the Lavender Club to reign supreme. The
so.
fact that they're putting tranny bathrooms everywhere, starting with Target. I can't believe Target. I used to like going in there and shopping somewhat. A little bit. I mean, the freaking red pill taker inside of me wanted to, go out there and maybe buy a little cheap Chinese crap. Unfortunately, we're all part of the rigged game. Even in Target. But like a normal person, I used to like going to Target. Now I hate it. Now I think they're a bunch of bastards.
Yeah. Well, Target, it's saying they're targeting you and they're watching you, and you might as well be a targeted individual when you're in Target.
Oh my God.
I'm proud to be a targeted individual when I'm in Target.
That is rich, folks. But that's right. It's just getting out of hand.
Look at this lie. Titanosaurus may have been the largest dinosaur in the world. Such fucking lies, man. I swear to God that dinosaurs never existed, and that's it.
What about that crater that we're going to go see when we go visit Tulum?
Mm-hmm.
That crater over there by the Yucatan.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't that take out the dinosaurs? That's another conspiracy. She throws out so many conspiracies. That's why I love her. Now the dinosaurs didn't exist.
They didn't exist. The first dinosaur bone was found in the Victorian era, which was the late 1800s.
Oh, right, and you do have a point. You have some factual points, because if you go to these modern art museums, most of the dinosaur skeletons aren't even real dinosaur skeletons. They were actually made by artists.
Yeah.
Most of it was composed by an artist. So
what's
not to say they didn't draw this thing up, in Rothschild's freaking basement or Rockefeller's basement? Oh yeah, tell them they're dinosaurs.
Yeah. You see, they get away with it. I'll tell you why and how. Because suppose they use like a yak bone or some other bone, right? And they'll say that they had to reconstruct areas of it. Like they'll just manipulate the words a little bit. They had to, so it's not all real bone. You understand? So they'll say it in a way that'll make it sound legitimate. They needed to fill in some of the areas that were missing in order for the model to be established. So it's just terminology, and there's no way the dinosaurs weren't brought up in the Bible. There's nothing before the late 1800s, and for a fact that we've been digging forever, and there's and there's landfalls, and there's landslides and avalanches and all kinds of icebergs melting, and the land is changing all the time. Then why can't, and there's tsunamis and so many things happening on the earth that after all this time, why can't just the average person, oh my God, we found a dinosaur bone today. Oh my God, look at this.
Well, that's the thing. They could have evolved into birds. Okay, the Alvarez theory says there was a giant meteor came down here and wiped them out. Anyway, I don't know. You're taking away my childhood memories of watching Jurassic Park.
And there would still be imprints of it, fossilized formations all throughout the world.
How do we not know if the Anunnaki came here like they did in Palenque, and like they showed up, with Quetzalcoatl, and they show up in Egypt, all these lizard people, these lizard gods, even having triceratopses being depicted in India. You don't know, folks. You don't know if the Anunnaki, the aliens, brought these dinosaur species and then zapped them right back up.
There would be but they UFO. Died. But some of these animals supposedly died in the earth, and in that case, with all of our digging and fracking and changing of the land, we would certainly have come up with more than a couple of dinosaur fossils.
Well, they come up with dinosaur fossils every day, but again, it's a conspiracy that you definitely should look into. Yeah, sharks have been around forever. Right. Anyway, folks, we're out of time. I want to thank everybody for listening. And if there's any of you trendies out there that think you could go one-on-one with Bruce Montalvo, okay, you think you're so cool, I call all you bastards culos. You're not cool, you're just a bunch of culos, folks. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for listening. We're on every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Happy Passover, Happy Seder.
And Shabbat Shalom.
And Shabbat Shalom. You've been listening to El Gran Montalvo and his hip-hop punk rock princess, Jaja. Thank you for listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show. Sayonara, ladies and gentlemen.
Peace.